It's that time again. A new year and new MMORPGs to be let down by. I've been playing these games for as long as I can remember, sitting at a table during recess with the boys circa 2001, planning our adventures for the evening in RuneScape. Sometimes the gang would even three-way call in the evening, learning the oh-no's of Eastern MMOs and shady monetization practices with games like Flife and MapleStory. The excitement of the vanilla WoW launch and how it would mold me into the gamer I am today. PvPing in the original Guild Wars and even dabbling in EverQuest 2 with the girl I had a crush on in middle school. Her whole family played. These games truly opened my eyes to how much I enjoyed immersing myself in a virtual world, which would later evolve into my fond affinity of escapism. It's 2023 now, and I want to tell you about the 5 MMOs I'm most excited for this year. The AOs and the oh-no's of each game. Reminder, this is just my opinion, and because of that, it should hold absolute weight and absolute consequence when it comes to the outcome of the success of these titles. Hi, I'm Ben, and these are the 5 MMOs I'm most excited for this year. Number 5 on my list is Palia. Palia is an MMO community sim published by the developers at Singularity 6. It takes place in a high fantasy setting and will be open world, or at least have open world sections. I've never had a problem with cozy games. Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, and even my time at Porsche are all reminiscent of Palia. While the graphics do remind me of Disney Dreamlight Valley, I think the devs know exactly the target demographic they're trying to entice with this title, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. At its core, gameplay focuses on leveling up different professions to increase your skills. The professions range from hunting, bug catching, gardening, cooking, fishing, mining, foraging, and even crafting furniture. While it looks to be just another farming sim, the one thing that really sparked my interest is how all these professions will work in tandem to help you really pimp out your house and truly make it yours. Plus, the graphics leave a lot of potential in what this game is attempting to accomplish. Housing systems in games, especially MMOs, are one of my favorite things to dump time into, and quite frankly, just look at. L+ cringe houses in New World littering the main streets of the cities, to the grand, player-created ERP nightclubs littering the dark, shady alleys of the Balmug server in Final Fantasy XIV. Player housing is dope. Combat is definitely not at the forefront of this game. Outside of the hunting profession, I don't suspect there will be much of any, but that's not what the game is about. Palia has the potential to be a cozy crafter's dream game. Tending to your farm, chopping trees, and hitting rocks, baby. The beauty of it is, at the end of the day, after a long grind such looking for those materials to build that perfect coffee end table combo, you'll get to share it with your friends and the community in the stylized world of Palia. Honestly, this game looks like it's mostly AOs, but with any live service game, it will come down to the monetization of Palia because it is free to play. Number 4 on the list is Blue Protocol. Produced by Bandai Namco for the gang in the East, this is being published by Amazon for us here in the West. This game was announced over 3 years ago, but at the Game Awards last year, developers confirmed it would be dropping officially in 2023. Blue Protocol is an open-world MMO which hones its focus on PvE. The gameplay loop will be what you've come to expect with a traditional PvE experience. Currently, there are 5 different classes out and more on the way. You will set off on your journey in a flourishing open world full of quests and dungeons meant to challenge you solo or with up to 6 party members. There are some other activities outside of the grind you can partake in, like fishing. Shocker, right? It wouldn't be an MMO without a fishing minigame. It seems that most of the activities outside of combat are just to buff your character for more combat. There is a clear objective in Blue Protocol: level up, grind, get big looties. It's time to talk about it. The biggest oh-no's with most modern MMOs, and a foul curse staining this list. Off the rip, this game is oozing gacha energy. The live service model from Eastern MMOs has never been something that NA gamers have received well, and the monetization in this is definitely looking pay to win. All things considered, we have seen the dramatic changes Amazon will implement in republishing titles like these for the West. I think the best example is Lost Ark. While Lost Ark is still very much a pay-to-win game, between the catch-up mechanics released early, fairly regular events that really help pump your character up, and the overall increase in upgrade materials between your main and your alts, Amazon has shown at least a little bit of good faith when it comes to the microtransactions you need or should purchase. Now, where the heck did I set that bottle of copium? I personally think outside of the monetization, what really is going to make or break this game is if it has AO or oh-no combat. The combat needs to be smooth, engaging, and deep, as the majority of what this game is going to revolve around is fighting. The only reason I placed this game ranked higher than Palia is because I love an immersive combat system and action in MMORPGs. Okay, I've said it before, I've been hurt before, but it is better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. These next 3 titles have me hyped up. I know the outcome. History may not repeat itself, but it damn sure rhymes. I know I'm going to be let down. I know they're all going to be a mess, but god damn it, if these next 3 titles don't have me stoked as hell, I'd be lying to you. Oh, let's get into this. Number 3 is Diablo 4. Before we even dive into Diablo 4, however, how about some Diablo lore? Diablo Immortals came out in 2022 and was a disaster. Arguably, the worst, greediest, and most predatory pay-to-win, pay-for-convenience, and pay-to-experience the game ever made. And it worked. Blizzard made money hand over foot with this game. Between mobile whales, algorithm whales, and Joe Schmoes emptying their bank account for 800% value, ladies and gentlemen, they got us. It cost nearly $110,000 to fully gear up and fully upgrade your character in Diablo Immortal, and people did it more than once, multiple maxed out characters on an account. Yet here I am standing before you, huffing copium like it's running out of style and shouting to the sky, Diablo 4 is going to be a good game. I know it's not exactly an MMO, but I love the Diablo franchise. I've played every single one as they've come out, and even if that dates me, Diablo 4 looks rad as heck. The character customization, the gameplay, the world, the story, it all looks so good. The open world in this game has the potential to be super awesome. It's large, full of collectibles to gather, fights to find, and dungeons to spelunk. There's public events, generally smaller horde events with a boss at the end, stronghold events, which are more dynamic and larger open world scenarios, and world bosses, which are, you guessed it, a world boss. Most of these major events seem to have timers, which will let players have a chance to get to an event before it starts, and this is just the tip of the iceberg of things to do in the open world. Now, while the true endgame isn't really known yet as the game is still in development, the dungeon content looks super fun too. Kill trash, fight bosses, get loot. Just what I want from a Diablo game. Honestly, anything that promotes killing hordes of enemies with friends or strangers is welcomed with open arms in an action RPG. Will I pre-order this title? Probably not. Do I want it to be successful and fun? 100%. I'm really trying to keep my expectations under wrap until this game actually launches in June, or at least until there's a more finalized, concrete beta or gameplay to see what's good. Number 2 is Wayfinder. Probably the only game on the list not surrounded in monetization controversy. The studio behind Wayfinder is Airship Syndicate. They have worked on other very well-received titles like Battle Chasers, Darkside Genesis, and even the League of Legends RPG Ruined King. I love the graphics in this game, how they are stylized while not just looking like another Fortnite model. Unlike the last few titles, this game is not an entirely open world game. Think Destiny. There will be a hub-based system similar to Warframe. Your character gets to vibe out in a shared social space with the homies, which looks to be sort of like a cobblestone city/castle setup. Then, when you're ready to play, you and your party will select which zone you want to quest in, or which zone has the dungeons you want to run, and you and your crew will be able to go explore that area. I'm most excited for the dungeons. Dungeons in this game will be affected by modifiers, changing the affixes tied to the dungeon to keep them feeling fresh. You already know what time it is. Player housing. We're back, baby! Even though we've come all this way since my number 5 pick, player housing is still one of my favorite mechanics in a game. Player housing in this is a little less, I don't know, social than the other titles on the list, but I'm glad it's here. It seems that housing in this game is going to be more a space for player progression, as it is used to upgrade and augment your character and gear from your personal quarters. I just can't wait for this game. Between how cool all the classes look and the combat itself, this title is just going to be good. There doesn't seem to be any shady monetization behind it either, and from what I heard, it sounds like it's going to have a similar live service system as Warframe. Number 1. Throne and Liberty. I was torn between this and Wayfinder for the number 1 slot, but this game just looks too litty. Where do I even start with this title? Character customization looks very in-depth, and you can even upload a picture of your own face to play as yourself in the game. That is a hard pass from me, but some might find it intriguing. The world looks amazing. It's vast and it's massive. It feels like a living, breathing ecosystem with seasons and even weather effects. The weather system is neat, and it affects combat as well in TNL. The latest news from the devs showed that a mage's lightning spell grew more powerful during a rainstorm, going from a single target ability to a chain lightning style skill. It also is something I really appreciate in MMOs, verticality. Having different elevations to traverse really adds a sense of immersion for me when I'm playing a game. The feeling of actually having to move through the world and its obstacles, the feeling of seeing mountains way off in the distance and being like, hey, I'm gonna climb that, and then being able to, mwah, chef's kiss, that's an AO. The dramatic changes in topography even bleed into the dungeon design. In most MMOs, dungeons are instanced content. Instanced meaning that you and your party will enter the dungeon, go through a quick loading screen, and you and your group of able-bodied adventurers will be the only ones in the dungeon you're exploring. In TNL, Honey Bunny, they were not being funny when they said they were going to have a seamless open world experience. The dungeons are very much out in the open world. Anyone can be in them, and it also takes full advantage of the verticality of the game. It seems to be the deeper you go, deeper being literal here, the harder enemies you will encounter and the better loot and materials you and your party can acquire. The PvP also looks promising. Because this is a totally open world game and there won't be PvE or PvP servers, a lot of the PvP will take place in the shared open world. Hey, and I know what you're thinking, hey, it's okay. What does this mean for PvE Andes? The devs have stated that PvP will happen in certain zones at different times, and there will be server-wide warning giving players a chance to opt out and leave the area, but also for people to get the gang together and mob out to these zones, because we are about to take their lunch money, boys. There is also large-scale guild conflicts, which seem to be almost pseudo-control point systems. Guilds need to hold down these different stones in different zones to claim the thrones. This seems to involve castle sieging that happens in the trailer, which I'm also excited for. It all looks so promising. What could go wrong? It's cross-platform, stunning graphics, tons of PvE, PvP, and things to just do in the world. This game, pains me to say this. This game is being published by NCSoft. So, gamers, head to the bank now, prepare a small loan so you can stomp the competition. That's it though. Those are the 5 MMOs I'm most excited for this year. This is a brand new channel, so I appreciate all the support and watching through till the end. Show some love and leave a comment and even subscribe if you want. And hit that bell for all those noties, boys. Bye, I'm Ben, and I'll catch you gators later, or in a while, crocodiles. But until then, remember, take care of each other, brush your teeth, and drink water. Peace.